Hey everybody, Rich Baranowski, and okay, so I already made my Charlie Kirk video, that little message I put out for Charlie Kirk's shooter. Now I've got a little message for the rest of you, for the people who were celebrating his death. Apparently a lot of you guys have been getting fired. But my question for you is, what the hell were you expecting? I mean, you're celebrating an act of fascism. Yeah, I know, and Charlie Kirk was a Nazi. So, me and you disagree politically. Does that give me the right to blow your brains out? Right, would it be much less fascistic of me to shoot you rather than debate you? Hold on. Hey, sorry, I had to cross a busy street. But anyway. Yeah, I think there's like a water main break somewhere, so like now the suburbs are the new freeway. But anyway. I mean, how fucking disenfranchised, how tone deaf. And like, you're not even tone deaf anymore. You're just deaf at this point. You don't hear anything at all, do you? Because how the fuck are you going to get pissed off when you lose your job for your opinions, but then celebrate when somebody gets killed for theirs? That's not fascism, right? You've been doing this shit to Republicans for over a decade now. Since the day Trump came down the escalator, y'all been sitting there saying Trump's a Nazi, his supporters are Nazis, and all that other bullshit. But now that it's actually happening to you, and see, now that it's actually happening to you, it's a bad thing. What a crime against the human race. What a horrible thing. The fact that you're actually facing ramifications, consequences for your beliefs. Okay? Now I'm gonna just explain to you guys just how far this shit goes. I have lost, in the past 10 years, I have lost 2 jobs because of left-wing Nazis harassing my employers, demanding I be canceled. Okay? My first job was at the baseball stadium. Lost that one because I had the nerve to compare Trenton, New Jersey to my hometown of Hamilton, basically pointing out that Trenton's been run by Democrats for decades. Hamilton has been run by Republicans for not quite, but almost as long, for quite a while. And then when I said, and then when I compared the two and noticed how much more dangerous, how much more crime is in Trenton, I lost my job for that. Just for comparing. And not, yeah, I didn't compare what a woke utopia Trenton is, because it's not. And again, this all just boils down to, you know, other people not liking my political leanings. Now, the other job that I lost was actually my main source of income at the time. And I lost that job because, due to my beliefs that Jews in Israel should not be genocided. I had at the time a coworker who was actively advocating for the genocide of Jews in Israel, and I lost my job when I told him he was a nutcase. right? So this guy goes frickin' bananas. This coworker of mine went frickin' nuts. He's frickin' demanding that, making all kinds of deranged claims about me. He's basically making all these claims about President Trump, all these claims about me, all these frickin' deranged comments, and I lose my job because shame on me for not wanting to genocide Jewish people. Yep. So yeah, the left, so you people on the left, you're sitting there saying, well, Charlie Kirk hates black people. And you hate, even if that were, which isn't even true, but even if it was, you hate Jews. And for those of you saying the left does not have an anti-Semitism problem, then let me ask you this. Why did Kamala Harris choose a valor thief over a Jew to be her vice president? Why did she choose Walz over Shapiro to be her VP? What was that all about? Well, we got this war in Israel and Gaza going on. A bunch of her own voters stormed into her rally saying they won't vote for genocide. Yeah, can you imagine if she had chosen a Jewish man to be her VP with those type of people lining up to vote for her? It would have been an even bigger blowout. Donald Trump would have won 100% of this country. He even would have blown Reagan's second term out of the water. It would have been a total blowout. How nobody would have voted for Harris. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're sitting there accusing us of being bigots, that we're the Nazis, and we're the ones who do this, and blah, 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 blah. To us, it just sounds like projection. Y'all freaking running around on TikTok and Twitter, boo-fuckity-hooing over Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel losing their jobs. Where were the tears when Roseanne Barr lost her job in like a couple hours? Jimmy Kimmel's he's being allowed to, use up the last of his contract. He's not losing his job till 2026. But Roseanne Barr, nope. Nothing. Right? Just hours later, you're gone. Not even gonna do like a final season of Roseanne or anything like that. Nope. Just ta-da, you're gone. Like the pencil in The Dark Knight. And so here's another thing. I have seen some really disgusting videos regarding Charlie Kirk, regarding, that you guys have been, that people on the left have been posting about Charlie Kirk and about Republicans and all that shit. Yeah, so first of all, that one woman, I think her name was something like Fabrina or some shit like that. Farina, something like that. The one doing their little thoughts and prayers jig. Now apparently her home address she's been doxxed. Her home address has been leaked. People figured out that she was a business owner. I think she owned like a bakery or some shit. And apparently a lot of people have been harassing her, sending her death threats. People have been, all kinds of crazy shit like that. You created this culture. You guys started this shit. You got nobody but your goddamn selves to blame. You're the ones frickin' rioting, looting, destroying public property, vandalizing statues. You're the ones frickin'... Dude. Got a bunch of birds hanging over here. Should have brought my umbrella. Anyway. So again, what were you actually expecting? So it's funny, it's cute, it's pro-America, and I'm pro something when it's happening to other people, but when it happens to you, that's a bad thing. Okay, I'm a Republican. We've all been doxxed. We've all been threatened. We've all had our family members harassed. We've had rape threats sent to our sisters by you, the same people who are crying that it's happening to you. I'm not necessarily saying that Republicans are right for doing it to you, but you know what? You started it. You started that fucking shit. You got nobody but yourself to blame for that. People vandalizing your private property, but let's go out and vandalize other people. Other people's property. That's a good thing. But when it happens to me, it's bad. No. You gotta stop with that bullshit. If you don't want people doing it to you, you don't do it to other people, okay? In the Judaism you hate so much, it says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. In Confucianism, right? Treat others the way you want to be treated. Rawls' theory of justice. Don't create a society if you wouldn't want to live in that society. Right? If you don't want to live in the worst part of the society that you created, then don't create it in the first place. So anyway, people, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm gonna stop this video, and before I say something I'll regret, So I'm just gonna end this video in the wise words of Mike Shinoda. When you fall, I take my turn and fan the flames as your blazes burn.